Right, so we're back on the board with the slice of 5. Right, now this was the most important thing, and you'll know, but just to put it on the board, it's all about safety and security, right? Now, if we put this together in a certain way, we're going to focus on certain things, but initially we're going to be looking at Jigsaw 1, and that's all about the slice introduction, right? Intro. Now, when we do this, we need to do it in a certain way because this slice will be slightly different to a lot of others. Now, we're going to do it in 9 minutes, as quick as I can, because there's a bit to explain, but in the 9 minutes, we'll see what we can achieve right at the end of this. But at the same time, I'm using a real life example, which is a car. So, even when you use a car, I'm going to come to that in a second because it's a very useful similarity, right? So, is this right for you as well? Because, oh my goodness, yes, most people want some kind of safety and security in lots of different reasons, and lots of different things can mean that they need it. But at the same time, it's not just safety and security for you, it's safety and security for the family, so it's other people as well. So what we want to make sure is this works the right way. And you look at things, it's not a major focus, but you look back in history, there are certain things like even when people smoked when they were pregnant, there was actually a recommendation on this years ago, but it's changed. And even some family members want to try and get the best results for their family, and they want to look after them. So even when you're looking at history and what people have said, one of the famous quotes was, simply do things in a safe way, and that's so simple. It's like ABC, and ABC was always be careful. So we're going to show you the important stuff, and you know what, we're still in the black and the blue pen together, so we're going to do it in that way, but also you can copy down on your sheet in a similar vision to what I'm going to do here, and when you're looking at it, it's fairly straightforward, and I'm going to keep reminding you about things like this. So one of the famous questions is still like, are you ready to go? Right. Brilliant, I am too, but I'm going to do this slightly differently because I'm going to focus on the pillar a bit too soon, right? And the reason for that is in the pillar, there's a certain level that we need to start discussing with you first. And easy boards have a very strict rule when it comes to the safety and the security. Now, you might not have even liked the original waistcoat I wore, right? So I'm doubling up the waistcoats because this is something that is so important for us. We want to make sure you're getting that message across. And it's obviously about the easy boards section, and we're going to take it to a different position. And what I'm going to do first, even before I get on the board and we update and go through this, I just want this to sink in a bit. We're going to use one of the real life examples. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see you on the other side in a second. Hello, and this is all about doing it in a certain way. And do you know what this is about? Because we're in the car, it's all about what's safe. And this is all about putting a seatbelt on. And the seatbelt is very important to make sure we drive safely. But why do we always do it when the likelihood of crashing a car is very, very slim? But this is just an example, and what I'm going to do is see you back in the office because we want to be safe. Right, so what we showed you there was that, and it's a real life example that is very important, and we're going to take it quite seriously because we're going to do the construction of something on the board that's very important. And even though this this waistcoat is a bit new, I'm going to do something very important because we're constructing something that's we've never done before, right? So we're going to do it this way, and what we're going to do is still going to concentrate on the single pen, the blue and the black, but at the same time I'm going to start off with a ruler, right? So in this section we're just going to give a title first. In the black, it's all about the safety and the security, right? Now, when we go through this, we also need to divide in different sections. So when I get the ruler, I'm first of all going to break it down in this main bit, and this is the main bit of the board. So I'm going to break that down into 3 areas, but at the same time, I want to see if I can get this straight. That's straight right. I'm going to draw the line across the top, and it's all about separating the top bit from the bottom bit, right? And that's not too bad. But when I go down, I'm also going to do that bit in a certain way. And when we go around to the bottom, we're going to separate the bottom from the top. I'm going to draw a big line on those bits as well, right? Take it right to the other side, which is in the standard template. So we've done that, but also I'm going to split the top one into two and the bottom one into two, but not the middle bit. So I'm going to split this one down the middle, and I want to take it from there to there, and I'm taking it from there to there, right? So we constructed that in a slightly different way. So I finished with a ruler, but also just to understand it in the right way, these are connected. And what do I mean by connected? What I mean is the actual line's there, but it's a dotted line. It's slightly broken. And how I'm going to do that is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. And just clean that a little bit. But those white ones, I mean, these are connected, but also down below, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to break this line up and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So I'll also try and clear that up a little bit, and clear that up a bit, and go across there as well. Right, so now we've done it in a certain way, but what is this all about? Because when we structure it, we know we're in the number 5, which is the safety and security. But what I'm going to go back to is how we set things up in number 1. And that, number 1, was all about a plan. But it was a very important plan. A very important plan. Right, now, when we put this together, we also understand there is part A. So what we mean by that, obviously, is just it can change over time, but that's what we started with. But because we've done other bits of the slice as well, we're going to introduce those here, and that is number 2. And number 2 was obviously the second one we did, but this was all about the emotional feeling, which is part of the financial stuff and its emotions. But also number 2 is above, and also number 2 is below. So number 2 is also about the emotional side, because safety and security is related to that. But not just that one. We also did another one, another slice, and that was number 4. And number 4 was all about family and friends, right? Mostly family. But I'm just putting the friends in here because we will get to them soon. But also when we go down, we're going to also keep that one there, but the same procedure, it's number 4, which is family and friends. Now, you can see where this is going, I would imagine, but at the same time we need to say, well, what is the content of that and why are we doing it a certain way? Because when we're doing a very important plan, I thought it was going to do that and go off in the alarm system, but the alarm system's a bit early, right? So even though you heard the alarm, it's still getting close because my time's running out. So I need to move faster, even in the important stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, what is this all about? Well, the emotionals bit and the other bits were all about different areas. If an emotional bit I'll come to in a second, but also, you know, the family and friends was all about, if I'm in one area, I'm going to put the lady I focused on, which was actually the lady I'm trying to deal with, and she was ranked. But also there's a lady who's much below, a female, and that was my daughter, so she's down. But also when I was going up, my family and friends was actually parents. I want to take it that way. Now she's separated slightly at this stage, but you could also say I'm going to keep her in the same level as me. But at this stage, I'm just moving her aside. We're going to come back to her because we're going to do it in a slightly different way. Now, also the final bit, which is important. This bit is very important to him as well. And this is all about Mr. Checklist. I'll just move these across to the left and put Mr. Checklist in. He's got the red pen. and he's going to structure it in a certain way. But now what we've done is we've blended all of the slices that we've done together, and that means when we're going to deal with this bit in the middle, we're going to summarize what it is and merge them all together. So at this stage, even though we've just put this point, we still need to give Captain Checklist a quick salute, because he's going to follow it with us. So now we've got him there, we've also got the checklist, and the checklist is an item that follows through on all slices. But what we want to do is we want to know what is part 1 as a question. So number 1, we want to know how important is being safe and secure in various things. But for you, is it anywhere between 0 and 100? So it's a percent, okay? So number 1 is how important is safety and security for you, and we put that percentage there, right? That's it, done. So what we're going to do, because time's running out still, is we're going to give ourselves a big green tick, and that big green tick is followed by remembering that this is jigsaw number 1, and we're going to score it red, amber, green, right? So I'm going to see you on the other side because of the time running out, and I'll see you there in a second. And this is actually coming off, you know, it's on this one, but it's not in the others. But this is staying on because it's so important for safety and security. I want to get the message across. See you soon.